Guys, how are you doing? I just wanted to get on real quick. I know I have kind of my base foundation done, but I wanted to kind of get on here. I'm going to do like a light pink cranberry type of vibe look today. This is actually for one of my friends by the name of Katy. This is for her. She had a request asking that I do it, and I haven't done a makeup video yet, so I figured we might as well start. So I'm going to concentrate on the eyes today, and that is the reasoning why my face is done. So let's get started. First thing I always do, so if you are used to watching my makeup videos, if not, if this is your first time, welcome. We'll kind of keep it nice and easy for you, but what I usually will do is get like a brush like this, this one's from Morphe, it's just a regular little flat packing brush, and I always go in with the MAC paint pot. This is in the color Soft Ochre, so you guys can see that there. So again, by MAC, it's an eyeshadow primer, and I like this one. The reasoning why I like this one is because it actually is a little bit more drying. So as you can tell, like right here, you probably can tell if I don't set my eyeshadow, I get creasing. So I think I have like oily eyelids. So when this is nice because it's almost dry, and I like it because it takes away discoloration and things like that. So the two colors, this one I used, this is Soft Ochre, and you can also use Painterly by MAC. It's a little bit of a lighter color, which is nice if you have fair skin. I've used both because I think when you're dealing, when you're dealing with eyeshadow, it doesn't really matter which color you're doing, as long as it's a little bit lighter or like about the same color as your skin color, because it'll help the color of the eyeshadows pop a little bit more. So I always use this one. This one's like my ride or die. I'd recommend it, even though I know some people will use concealers. They'll also do things of that nature. Like I've tried to use concealers as well, but it creases. And so I feel like if you're going to concentrate on all the work you're going to do anyways, why mess it up with something, a base that isn't gonna, you want something that's not gonna crease. So right now, we took away all the color. It looks really light, but it's okay. We're gonna bring color back into this. So some of the colors I'm gonna use are, it's gonna be from two different palettes. I was trying to keep it to one, but it's just because some of these colors that a friend of mine has to use, I have them in two different palettes, but I wanna try to do it so that she can use one. So just as a general, the first color I'm gonna go in is this color. It's called Girl Bye, from the Desix Katy Friendcation. I think it's Girl Bye. It's this pinky rosy color one. So you can use, sorry, I guess the mirror was reflecting back on you guys. But I'm gonna use this as kind of a transition color. I'm gonna get like a big fluffy brush. This one's my Morphe M441. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep this one super simple. So I'm gonna kind of put this packet all over my eyelid. And the nice thing is this will be really good because it allows you guys to be able to replay it if you feel you guys need to rewatch it again. The other thing is one of the other things, I have hooded eyes, so I know people see where my crease is there naturally. If I only put the eyeshadow where my crease was, it would hide all the work that I just did. So what I'm going to do is just gradually blend it a little bit higher. I might even go in with a lighter color. I might go in with just a little bit of a lighter color to blend out the edges a little bit. So like a brown color would be nice. Well, I should have probably packed on a little bit more powder underneath in case I have any fallout. In case you ever see anybody do that, the reasoning why people will also bake, but like you could always put powder on. Well, that might be just a little freckle or something that I have. I'm like, oh, okay. I probably could have put more powder on, but I'm not going to worry about it if it messes it up. It's okay. It's mostly for you guys, but we want to make sure it looks good. So let's keep going back with our big blending brush and pack on. I'm going to go close to the edges and we'll blend out. This will be probably a super easy look. That's okay, because I know this friend of mine who is wanting, I'm going to go in just with a touch, just so you know, a touch of this color right here. It's a little bit of a lighter brown. What is the color called? It's called Necessary. And I think what I'm going to do is try to blend out these edges just a tad. So I'm going to go in with the same blending brush. The reasoning is, and I'm just going to go right here on the outside. The reasoning is it'll make it look softer and it'll kind of diffuse it a little bit so it's not so harsh, and it'll be super light and beautiful. So anyways, like I was saying, this is for a friend, and this one is going to be kind of an easy starter way to play with like a pink or a cranberry or something like that, where hopefully I was looking up different colors for eyeshadow colors. This should be even good on somebody who has, I'm going to go actually a little bit smaller brush because I want to be able to pack on some color on the inner corner without it going everywhere. So sometimes I'll use like a smaller brush like this Morphe 456. So if you want to see the comparison, it looks like that for difference. This one's big and fluffy. That's the first brush we used. And then this one, I'm going to try to get into the inner corners of my eye. And I have really little inner corners. So we're going to go this route and pack it on. The nice thing is this will also make that color a little bit more vivid. If you feel like for some reason, if you ever blend the edges away and you're like, oh man, I lost some of that color, just repack on with a smaller brush and it'll bring that life back. So this is one. I just realized it probably looks darker on there than I was planning for it. I was like, oh, this is a light rose pink, but it'll be okay. If it looks darker, you can always find a lighter color. So I'm just gonna match both sides. Whenever things get crazy, just match both sides and it'll be okay. So if you have fair skin, or if you feel like, hey, I should have maybe done a lighter color, I would try some of these things when it's a brand new color to you, and when it's something that maybe you're not as comfortable with. I would try it first at home, because what the thing is when you're having fun using like a pink or a thing like that, it'll allow you to be able to play around with it and see where you want. Because if you wanted to dull this down where it didn't look so pink as well, you could also put some brown in there, like brown it out where it looks like a pinky kind of coppery, no, a pinky brownie type of look. So just so you have a heads up on there. So I'm going to go in with the smaller brush, the 456, and I'm going to go into the inner corner here because I don't want it to go everywhere. Just focus on it. I guess I was holding my Jeffree Star mirror, and I don't need to hold that, so, okay. Because I like it when palettes actually have a mirror. So just go slowly. And remember, I have hooded eyes, so I need to go above my crease. Hopefully you guys can see my crease right there. And just make sure with this smaller brush, pack on here. Make it look flawless. And then what I'm going to do is match. Remember how I had that little bit of that tan color? See how it looks like a sunset? It like makes it lighter there. I'm going to do the same here. So see how that looks a little bit harsher? You want to go in with a little bit of a lighter color. I might have just used a different brush. I'm sorry about that. I just realized I originally used my original red brush, but these are pretty close. They're big and fluffy, so it'll be pretty good. I'm still using the same color called Necessary. And we'll kind of go this route. So I'm actually very excited that my friend Katy asked me to do this one because I haven't done eyeshadow on YouTube yet. And if there's something that you want to see and you feel like you like this for my channel, let me know. I can easily do that type of stuff. So that's kind of how it looks right now. I might pack on a little bit more of the pink color just to go right around so it's showing. Make sure my color is vivid, and I think it looks nice. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to slightly deepen it up just a little bit more, and I'm going to go in with the Carli Bible by Anastasia, an Anastasia collab. It looks like this. Sorry about that. And I'm going to go in because this color looks like a really pretty cranberry color to me. It's a really, really pretty color. So this is the color Stev. Sorry, I just covered it with my hand. You want to knock off some of the excess so you don't get a ton of fallout. I'm just going to pack it on here. And it didn't make too much of a difference. I thought it was going to make a bigger difference, and that's okay. Alright, and that's okay. Just leave it just like that, not a big deal. Okay, so the other thing is what I'm going to do, so in case for some reason you have lighter skin tone or something and you said, maybe this is too dark for me, you could always put a little pop of color right here, like a shimmer. So in this palette, there's a color called Aura. It looks just right next to this one. This one right here, and Aura. And what you can do, so if you feel like this brown, like this cranberry color is too much, you can just kind of get your finger, dip it in there, and just loosely, just in the center of the eye, it almost like pops. Like, see how this brings some dimension there? I just got it on my finger, and you just kind of loosely pop it on there. And what'll happen is it keeps the colors that you just did, and then it allows it to have a little bit more dimension. So just so you have a heads up. And if you feel like, hey, this shimmer is not enough for me, I need a little bit more life, I can show you how to do that as well. Okay, so this is that color. And it makes it look nice. Maybe you can't see the difference, and I'm sorry if you can't. So let's say you feel like this, you maybe need a little bit more. What I would do if I were you or somebody, I would just get a brush that looks like this. These little paddle brushes, I always think about them like a little cat paw. What I would do is, the trick that you would do would be to get your setting spray. Like, I get my MAC Fix Plus, and spray my brush just so it's a little bit damp. And I know it seems kind of weird, but whatever it is on here, and I go back into the same color, and what it does is it makes it pop a little bit more. You can always be mild with it and do it the first way, or you can go a little bit more wild and crazy if you feel like it. But I just wanted to show you. So see how this one looks a little bit more noticeable, and then this one doesn't. So what I would do is I would do the same thing, wet my brush, okay, give it a minute, and then you're going to dip it into the solution into the eyeshadow like this. Oops. And pick it up. And just place it where you want. These are really good to help you focus on where you want to place it. Alrighty. So that makes it a beautiful dimension. So nice light pink cranberry look. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some eyeliner. I usually always stick with black, but if you have nice lighter skin than I do and you use brown eyeshadow or brown liner, bet you that would work just as fine. So I always use my MAC Blacktrack. So it looks like a pot. And so if you're ever doing eyeshadow or eyeliner first time, the reason why I like this one is because it's kind of like a gel. And so I use the MAC, what brush is this? 266, I think. I think it's a 266. It wore off. So that tells you, oh, I got a new one. I got secondary in case I was worried about it. So MAC 266 is what it's called. Probably won't be able to see it, but I can try. 266. It's very sharp, angular brushes. I have multiple, but just so you can see how thin they are. Sorry, I know that doesn't probably do it justice, but this is the one I use because if you're ever needing to draw on your eyeliner, it is nice because you don't have to move too fast. So for example, in this situation, I have to go one-handed. And so what I do is I just slightly place where I want my liner to be. First, I start off with it going close to my lash line. And I just put it on there slowly because I don't want it to go too thick. Sometimes especially when you're doing like a more delicate look like this. You don't want the liner to be too thick. It takes away all that effort you just put on the eyeshadow. Unless you have a whole bunch of eyeshadow, eyelid space. Like I said, with hooded eyes, and I draw my line straight out like this. And I go towards the end of the tip of this brush to kind of get it extra pointed, but I'm not going to worry about it being too perfect. But the reasoning is because I do have that hooded eye where my crease will kind of come down further and makes my eyeliner not look straight, and it kind of bothers me. So I don't even go high enough to be on the hood of the eye, which is kind of like that hangover part right here, in case you're wondering. So if you ever have like your eyeshadow doesn't show and you're like, man, I just did all this work for nothing, it's probably because you have a hooded eye, and that's okay. You just need to know how to do eyeliner and eyeshadow for your own eyes. Especially as we get older, things don't stay the same. We forget. Which is fine. Alright, so a nice little dainty liner. Perfectly fine. I like it because it always makes it look like you have better mascara, makes your lashes look fuller. I always am pro get your line right. So eyeliner on point. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put mascara on, and I might even put lashes on, but it depends. I was trying not to make this too long, but you guys on the next one can let me know if you liked the length of this one. That's why I did my eyeliner first. I'm also secondary. I like my liner to be dark, so I go in with my Lancome Artliner. Lancome makes this, and this is in the color, whatever, black, I think. Just black. So it's really, really pointy. So the reason why I use this one too is because it allows me to do that point, get my line extra pointy, but not be worried about it. Hold on. Get the line blacker, fill in all those little gaps, and then it allows me to fill in those extra cracks if it doesn't look that dark. Especially because I have like little wrinkles in my eyelid, so I like it to look as straight as I can make it. And you know, I think one of the biggest things is as we're getting older and aging, I actually don't think aging's an ugly word. I think it's beautiful. You know, I have more experience now, and I actually accept myself a lot more than I used to. I'm going to go in with an eyelash primer. I just get this one from, it's Loreal Voluminous. It's a white one. It's called a primer. Looks like that. Is it upside down? My bad. It's a primer base. It's a white one. And so what it does is, just so you guys have a heads up on it, what it does is it kind of makes an extension of your lashes. Makes them seem thicker and fuller. I wear this one a lot when I have my scrubs on, and I feel like I need my lashes, my mascara, just to carry me, make me feel like an awesome person. You can't put falsies on and all that stuff. This is like my liquid falsies. Makes me feel better. And one of the things is, once you kind of let it dry for a little bit, it'll not look white, but I cover it up with eyeshadow. I mean, mascara anyway, so just so we have a heads up. I'm just going to get another brush, making sure if I had any fallout. I normally, if you guys have ever watched me before, I normally don't do my face first, but I did it today, so it was easier. So it was just concentrating on the eyeshadow look. Sorry. Try not to cover the camera. Alrighty. Well-coated eyelashes. And I don't have my eyelash curler. I also use eyelash curler, but I don't know what I did with mine. And that's okay. I'm probably going to put falsies on anyway. Okay. All right. Perfect. And then we're going to go the lower lash line. So one of my favorite parts about bringing an eyeshadow look together is now doing the lower lash line. I didn't used to do a lower lash line, but when I really started to see the power of it, I have like little wrinkles underneath my bottom parts of my eyes. I know some people don't believe me when I say I do, but that's okay. So what I realized is it makes my eyes seem more open. It makes it seem like they're more smoky. It seems more sultry to me, even when it's an everyday, normal eyeshadow look. So pretend you were going to go on a date night or something like that. This is the time to do that. I always feel now, my eyeshadow doesn't feel complete if I don't do my lower lash line. So what I do is I still go through with my eyeshadow base as if I did on the top. So what I do, and I know not a lot of people do this, but I do it because I feel like it makes a difference. Because I like the color to show up. I'm just getting like a little brush, this Morphe 124. It looks like a little paddle brush, but this is what I use to cut my creases. But what I do is I kind of just get some of that eyeshadow primer on, and I have to always look for my mirror, but it's in that palette. What I do is I go close to this lash line. If you ever have a problem and you're like, man, my eyeshadow is just not showing. The color that I had, it was the most beautiful color in the palette and it's just not showing. This is what I do to make that color pop. And I just put it close to the eyeliner, to the eye. I don't want it too far down because I want it to be able to blend out, okay? So then what I do is I get a little brush, like let's say something like this. Okay, and I want to go in with this pink color. And I'm going to pack it on with this little bitty brush close to the lash line. And I'll kind of explain why in a minute. And I just set that eyeshadow base with that color, because this is the color you want it to kind of pop through. Okay. And get it close to the lash line as well. Match both sides of the eyes. And if you want to make it a little bit more sultry, you could actually go in with like a brown like this, right there. This one's called Cheens. And I always like to put just a tad bit of brown right here in this corner. I feel like it makes it a little bit more sultry. Right now it looks like a harsh line, but trust me, it'll lighten up. I'll show you why. And that's okay, if all else fails. So then what I do, because I don't want the line to look that harsh, right? So it's almost like making it look soft on the top part too. I go in with a smaller blending brush, which we originally used. I think there was a smaller one. I just put it down here somewhere. Here it is. Let me wipe this off because I had like that pinky color on. Let me get just a regular tissue. Sorry for going out of frame. Okay, so I wipe off just the excess so I don't have to have any of that darker color. And I'm going to go in with this color that we used was necessary, this one. And what I'm going to do is I go in there with this little blending brush and I kind of go right on the edges. And I'm going to soften it up. Just on the edges. You don't want to go where you kind of put the color out already. Just kind of go on the edges. And this is kind of how you consider, they consider this like smoking out the lower lash line. My goodness. See how this one looks less like a line than this one? It kind of makes it softened. And you just do the same on the other side. You just soften it up. You think nice, beautiful flowers, roses, things of that sort. Kind of just make it soft and very feminine, very nice. So if you feel like you lost some of the color, I'm just saying, because sometimes what happens when you blend things off, you're like, okay, I lost some of that color. So what you could do is just go back in with one of these like little square brushes, in case you ever wonder why these are all in your kit and you're like, what do I use them for? It's like a little square brush like this. It's really flat. You could just go back in and place the color where you feel like it might be missing. So this packs it on. So I'd go like underneath my, I want a little bit more pop of pink right here. And then maybe I'll go a little bit more of the brown right here. I feel like maybe it fell off a little bit. Just kind of do it there. And on the other side. And then the other thing I like to do is just go in with a little bit of eyeliner on the inner waterline. Okay. And this is my favorite drugstore inner waterline. If you've watched my videos, my lives before. So this one is the Scandaleyes by Rimmel. It's a waterproof eyeliner, and I feel like I used to have a whole bunch of smudging before, but once I put eyeshadow underneath, I feel like it prevents it sets my eyeliner so it doesn't actually start to leak or smudge. Just so you guys have a heads up. There's that. And one of the other things I'll do is I like to do a little pop of color. So in this little palette, this Friendcation palette, you can probably do something shimmery like this. Go back in. Sorry, my nose is starting to run. Whenever I do my inside of my lash line and stuff like that, I think it makes it go all crazy. So I'm going to go in with this color, do a little bit of an inner corner situation. Oh, that went in my eyeball. So this one you might want to wet. I just realized. I don't think you have this exact one, but maybe with something shimmery like that, you might want to wet it. This one tend to flake a little bit, so it got a little bit in my eye. Am I gonna die? No, it'll be fine. And just gently place it where you want it. Just like an inner pop of excitement in your eye. Okay, so I think other than lower lash, mascara, and falsies, I think this is how easy the look was. So let's do, I'm gonna go in with my everyday falsies, favorite falsies that are from the drugstore is my Ardell wispies. They look like, oops, I have one off, but Ardell wispies in case you want them. You can get them from Target, Walmart, everything like that. Usually you get probably about 5 pairs for $12 or something like that. And the other nice thing is they're very user-friendly, and I feel like they're pretty awesome if you wanted to start with somewhere. Other than the fact I think I just messed up one of my eyelashes. So, yeah, I just messed up one. So I'm going to go for a new pair. That was not according to plan. If I don't have, I do have more Ardell wispies, but because they're my holy grails, as you can see. But so what I'm going to do is just go in with a new pair. I like them because the band is nice and thin. Look, if you don't normally see how thin that is, like it looks more natural. So if you're ever like, hey, this is my first time using them, I don't really use them all the time, and I use Duo Lash Glue in green. So, I'm sorry, in green, it's clear. But I put it on here. And the interesting thing is it kind of has like a little bit of like a blue hue. It's kind of the weird thing. I originally used the black one. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh yeah, originally I used the black one. The issue is if you're doing it for the first time or like as you're learning, I found the issue is if you messed up, accidentally placed it wrong or something like that, it would leave black on your eye. So then you're like, dang, you just messed up my eyeliner. I just took forever to do my eyeliner. I concentrated and you messed it up for me. So just so you know. And then the other thing is with the lash glue, make sure you wait at least like 30 seconds to let it get a little bit tacky. Because if you don't, what happens is obviously it'll slide off and move on you. So just kind of touch like the centers where I usually touch, because the inner corner and outer corner I feel like are a pain in the butt to stick. So I always do it where I'm doing it, checking the inner little bend first. So I'm gonna just put this in. I usually go outer first or middle. My hands got sticky with glue, sorry. Real life situations. Okay, those are done, nice and simple. And then I'm gonna do the other one, and then we're getting close to wrapping up, guys. All right. Okay, let me just put some, I got eyelash glue on my hands, and they're sticking to my eyelashes, like as I do them. So I like a really good coat on there to make sure they stick, because if I put them on, I don't want to have to come back for it, so make it all happen. So just give it a few minutes, like I said. And if you feel like you don't know if you can put them on with your own hands, I would use, there's this tool I have that's by Sephora. I love this tool because it's small enough that you can go like past the things and kind of just place it there. And it allows you to be able to like get a better grip if you feel like it's not working for you. Sorry, I'm trying to get as close as I can, but like you can get pretty close to the lash line. Okay, that's tacky, so let's get this, you go above. Oops. Alright, those are on. We'll wait for that to dry a little bit. Alright, lower lash mascara, and I use the MAC Gigablack. It comes in a blue one. The only reason why is because I have a little lashes on the bottom. And I used to, sorry, here comes our mascara face. Don't act like you don't have one. But I like it because I can pick each little individual lashes. I think it brings like a better cohesive look. I'm more of like, I like how thin this brush is and how it's like the old school brush. I love the way it grabs each of those lashes. Alright. What we'll do is do the lips and we're done with our look, I think. So what I'm going to do is wipe off my lips because I had chapstick. I might have gotten, okay. And I'm going to go in with the lip liner. Let's just use the color Whirl, just MAC lip liner. I know if you haven't watched me before, I always go in with with a lip liner. And the reasoning is because if you know me in regular life, I am a lipstick girl all the time. So, and the color in my lip. The reasoning is because it always helps my lipstick last longer. Alrighty. There's that, and then I'm going to go in for my color today. I am going to go in with the color, the YSL color in 16 called Tatouage Contour. It's just like a nude color and like a nudie mauvey pink color, and it comes. I got it from a sample, like a lipstick sample thing, like the duo pack. And I'll try to do, if you guys ever want me to take more time on each section, you just let me know and we'll do it that way. Anyway, so that is the whole look. This is the look for today. And this is a soft pink cranberry look with, oh, I can set my face now. And I usually go in with Morphe. And I will upload this. Again, this was thank you to Katy for the recommendation. And I hope this works out for you. Try it out. Let me know. And I just dropped all kinds of stuff. Morphe setting spray. Life is good. And I hope you love it. You wear it. Let me know in the comments if you liked this video. And I hope you guys have a great day. And hopefully this will be almost 40 minutes of your time that you really appreciated. Have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.